cold, dreary day like today is the perfect day to have a nice afternoon with my Husbear, keeping each other warm, and having a wonderful plate of creamy seafood pasta. So let's go in the kitchen and get started. This is a very simple recipe. It's quick, it's easy, and it is so good. Now the first thing we're going to do is get our butter into the pan. Turn it up to medium-high heat, and while that is melting, I'm going to get started chopping on my mushrooms. Alright, we're going to put in our mushrooms. A little bit of salt. Now you know these guys are going to be done when all their moisture is released. I'm going to get started on my pasta water. I set this on high heat with a nice big handful of salt. You're going to want this to be about seawater salty, so good amount of salt in there. And a little bit of vegetable oil. And let that come up to a boil. Alright, it's got a minute more to go. While that is going, I'm going to get started on my scallops. Let's give these a nice quick chop. My mushrooms are about done. You can see how watery they've gotten. So I'm just going to take these off. I'm just going to put this back on the burner. Put in my scallops. Now these aren't going to take long to cook, so you just got to keep an eye on them. Now these are almost done. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a half a cup of softened butter. Let that melt in. Looks like our water is going at a good boil, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the pasta. Our butter is all melted, so I'm going to add in 3 ounces of softened cream cheese and let that get all melted in there. Now we're going to use some of the starch water, add in here. And this is going to act as a thickener and get this all nice and juicy. I'm going to need to turn down the heat a little bit. Alright, now this is looking all nice and frothy. I'm going to add in some fully cooked shrimp that I detailed. Get that all nice and thawed out. Alright, our pasta is done, so I'm going to go ahead and strain this out. Whew. Steamy. Alright, I'm just going to they're almost ready. I can go ahead and put back in my mushrooms. Now this dish can get a little bit heavy, so I'm going to use some fresh herbs to lighten it up a little bit. It's going to use some flat leaf parsley and some basil. Let's give those a nice quick chop. Then add in my fresh herbs. Wait for that to wilt down, and then we'll get into our final step. Alright, some final seasonings. We're going to add about a teaspoon of garlic powder, a little bit of salt, freshly ground pepper. Give that a little stir. Oh, this just smells fantastic. I love those fresh herbs. That pop of green is just so beautiful. That looks perfect. Let's take it off the heat. Over here to our pasta and just dump that in there. Some fresh Parmesan cheese right on top. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, I'm just going to taste this. Oh. It's creamy, it's light, it's fresh. everything that a dreary Sunday meal should be. There you go, Husbear. Now, dreary weather doesn't mean that you have to have a dreary day. And this is a perfect recipe to bring two people together to snuggle up and have a great Sunday afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment, be sure to subscribe, and watch again. Thank you.